My first question was back in 2012, you worked as an executive producer for Dread. I just like to know like how fun of an experience was that for you, and like was that sort of the catalyst for you to start creating more material based on games and comic books?
No, I think actually the catalyst was the Punisher short film.
Dirty Laundry.
The catalyst. Yeah, the catalyst was Dirty Laundry. Dread just kind of existed almost on a different plane because it was, it seemed like a one-off at the time. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it was something so. I think Dirty Laundry was the one where I was like, oh, okay. If I want to be in the nerd space, in the part of nerd culture,
right? Yeah,
I can just do it myself. I don't need a bunch of gatekeepers to tell me I can.
And I mean, speaking of Dirty Laundry, I was actually talking to a friend just before this call, and he was like, "Oh man, could you ask him if he has plans on like doing a full length feature of Dirty Laundry, because that was apparently his favorite of the bootleg universe films." So I mean, as a follow up to Dirty Laundry, do you do you have any plans of like doing a full length feature of any of those bootleg films in general?
Do I have plans? No, because I wouldn't be able to really release those full length features, outside of the internet, because I wouldn't own it would become so legally complicated. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot about what the full length feature would be.
Well,
a lot of the time, yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. I mean, it would be rather interesting if a full length feature of any of those actually would make its way out into the big screen. A lot of what ifs. So yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting to think like what would have happened if Lionsgate and Saban and my team would teamed up and actually made Power Rangers into the full length movie. Interesting. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for the fans and for everyone else, we'll just have to. That'll just have to remain a what if for the, at least for the near future. So, speaking still about the bootleg universe films, in 2013 you had done something for Venom: Truth in Journalism. I think you know where this is going to. Fast forward to 2018. Have you actually seen the latest Venom film with Tom Hardy?
No.
Oh man, I wish.
No, I haven't.
I wish you had though, because I was gonna ask you like, what did you think of it? Like, I mean, like I'm pretty sure you've read all the internet horror stories about the film being really bad and like a low critic score, but the fans really loved it. So like, it would just be kind of interesting to me to know your thoughts about that, like how you would have thought of the film if you had seen it. Do you plan to see it anytime soon though?
Yeah, I mean, I want to eventually see it. I do want to eventually see it. I have no idea why I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I still haven't seen the Punisher TV show on Netflix that was supposedly inspired by Dirty Laundry. So it's kind of I think maybe I'm just kind of close to the source material, and then at a certain point you just kind of check out.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. Let's talk about your current anime series that's out on Netflix now, which is Castlevania. So, like, what would you say was the biggest challenge in actually, pushing through with the series? Like, was it like looking for the right voice actors to fill in the role, or like the right script that would actually give justice to the source material? Like, how challenging was it to actually create and produce the series?
Well, it was challenging. Like the show got greenlit like literally like a day after I finished it. So, getting it made at that point wasn't hard, but the real challenge was, I've been trying to do something just like this, literally just like this, for 10 years.
So it's a pretty long wait.
Yeah, it was hard to convince people that over here that animation couldn't be for adults and that it doesn't have to just be for children, and
Yeah, I understand. I mean, if you had probably pitched it like maybe 10 years ago, it probably wouldn't be treated with the same amount of respect that it would have gotten, as if it were
absolutely, it would have been on late night TV. No one would have known how to contextualize it. Word of mouth would not have spread the way it did.
Yeah,
gaming culture isn't where it is today. So it would have been more of a challenge.
In that same vein, I believe even before the anime series was greenlit, you were actually approached to direct a live action version of Castlevania, but I understand that you had turned it down because it really didn't pay its due respect to the game and to the fandom. So in relation to
exactly.
in relation to treating the fandom well, quote unquote, I'd like to know your take on superhero / comics / game movies that do ostensibly bad after getting overly hyped. Do you feel like the fans are entitled to feel that sort of disrespect since it's an IP that they know by heart?
No, I think it's a double-edged sword. Sorry, not double-edged sword. I think there's two sides to this, right? On one hand, yeah, I try to make everything by fans. I'm a fan, so it's by a fan, and I'm making it for other fans, so it's by fans for fans.
Yep.
However, there's a tonal disconnect sometimes, right? Because you look, let's look at the MCU, for instance.
Right.
The MCU is so bright, happy, and glossy, right? I'm a huge fan of the MCU. I love all the movies. I think it's great. But the MCU is also, could be dark. It could be darker, right? So I'm just saying, even within the fandom, there are many different tones at which any project can be approached. So there's a difference between it's good and not for me, and as a fan, there's a difference between it's good and not for me versus, oh wow, you just got it all wrong.
Right, yeah.
Because you don't know what the source material is.
I'm curious at any point in the production of Castlevania, did you ever get to meet and work with Koji Igarashi? And if you did, how did that feel working with the producer of the Castlevania series?
I mean, I personally didn't work with him, but I met him. I met with him. We're young now. I think he's a cool guy.
Yeah,
he's definitely a cool guy.
Did he ever
definitely cool guy.
Did he ever provide input into the material that you had launched recently, or was he hands off?
No, he just said he liked it. That's all. He said he really liked the show.
Well,
and he told me also a couple of guys in his office only got Castlevania in order to a couple guys in his office only got Netflix
just for Castlevania.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think that's a pretty big compliment in itself, right? The main dude for Castlevania saying that he likes your show, so that's gotta feel pretty awesome for you. All right, so yeah, from Castlevania, I do know that there's a next project coming up, and although details are a bit scarce about Assassin's Creed, I just like to ask, if you were given a chance to choose any other video game IP that you can do a series or a movie or any material on, like what would it be and why?
I'm basically about to I'm about to announce it next in a few weeks.
Oh, awesome!
It's going to be a big deal when it's announced.
All right,
That's all I
yeah,
can really say out
yeah,
loud. Well,
yep. I understand. I
I'm
understand.
trying to think out loud. Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. It makes a lot of sense,
Yep.
and well, it makes a lot of sense in terms of like I think people will appreciate the combination of me and this thing and this property, and I'm a fan of it. So yep.
All right, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Exciting news, definitely. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah, and I guess winding down the list of questions that I have down to a couple of more. Um, I mean, the fans like know you as to be a very outspoken gamer, and like you're a geek in your own right. Uh, Apart from video games and like movies, what other stuff do you geek out on? So like what makes Adi Shankar a geek? Because I mean I remember you wore that power glove pretty nicely during during your visit to the Philippines. So
This is true. I did. That's a great memory. I did wear this power up.
yeah, yeah. I was right at the second row of your panel, and me and my friend were like freaking out. And like, that's a power glove. What other stuff do you geek out on?
Wrestling.
Ah, nice wrestling. Are you caught up with the recent wrestling events?
Yep.
So are you pretty excited with that Triple H and Shawn Michaels reunion versus Undertaker and Kane? That's gotta be pretty hype, right? I mean, DX.
Not really, actually.
Oh, really?
I think it's kind of lame.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So who is
Yeah.
who is the wrestler for you right now, and why is it Kenny Omega?
It is Kenny Omega.
It is, right? Yeah. I think we like to both agree on that. Kenny Omega is the wrestler right now. So yeah, so
Yep.
I guess my last question would be in typical Filipino fashion. I just like you to like give a short message to your Filipino fans, and like invite them to watch Castlevania on Netflix, and stay tuned to any of your future projects.
Oh yeah, I love the Philippines. Philippines is like home to me. Can't wait to come back.
We'd love to have you back. Hopefully sooner rather than later, and maybe during the time you come back, your new project is already out, and we could get to geek out on that next. Thank you.
No, thank you, my man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh no. The pleasure is all mine, sir. It's been an honor, and I do hope to personally see you and shake your hand again once you come back to the Philippines.
That would be awesome.